Hello, I'm Brian. I'm a student here at Pura Vida, and we've been doing these series just interviewing different students of the martial arts, specifically Pura Vida, and just asking them what their experience is, why they train, just get the message out about how amazing this academy is and what it means for us personally in our lives. So I'm joined today with Tyler. Tyler's really cool. He actually trains all over the place. So Tyler, can you just briefly introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about your story, where all you train, and then why you're also here.
Yeah, my name's Todd Kirkpatrick. From the Charlotte area. Grew up here most of my life. Got into training in my early 20s as I was in the military, just kind of casually doing it. Just wanted to test it out, but just didn't really have the right finances to kind of pursue it. A few years later, I kind of got my shit together and got my bag, and I decided to go start some training again because I had a buddy who was training at a local gym, and he invited me in. It was a jiu-jitsu gym, so I went in there, got some rolls in, and kind of started to fall in love with the sport. Especially, I come from a wrestling background, so getting to grapple and roll was just getting right back in that flow and competition. Purely just starting it, just kind of like tried as a hobby, just test it out, see how it went. But then just kind of got engulfed in the love of the sport from there.
The bug bit you pretty hard.
Yeah, it bit me real hard.
Yeah.
And that's where I met Charlie. Charlie was one of the coaches at the school. Can't remember the name of it right now. Got a good relationship with Charlie. Went off, decided I wanted to do MMA specifically. So I started training at Highest Stand. Had a buddy who was training there. So went to
like with your rash guard.
Yeah, all this stuff right here.
Okay.
My buddy introduced me to Highest Stand, and they had a good reputation for being an established MMA gym. Because obviously I realized at one point I wanted to do a little bit more than just roll and tap people. I wanted to throw some punches too. So and Charlie helped me get more drive into that because he was doing the Muay Thai classes over at the name of that place, can't remember. But that helped me really get that itch to want to do more than just roll and whatnot, what I already had. So started doing MMA, and then shortly after that, Charlie had opened up this school, and I knew that he had, he's a wizard. He had so many 100%. Things that I could offer, and I knew it could help me with my game. So, I reached out and I was like, hey, can I come train with you guys too? And he's like, oh yeah, welcome anytime. Came in, met you guys, built a relationship, and coming ever since, and it's been great.
So that's a cool story. So you mainly train at Highest Stand,
Mm-hmm.
but because you had a relationship with Charlie, you just talked to him and like, hey, I would also, because I love the sport so much,
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to pop in here every once in a while and train with you guys. And he wasn't like, oh no, you're training somewhere else, so forget you. He was very welcoming. Huh?
Yeah, and that's honestly what I believe the community is supposed to be. Cross training is honestly one of the best ways to increase your technical skill. I mean, I saw it just from once I started doing it. I was getting there, but then once you just start putting things together, getting different opinions, and just forming it into who you are as a fighter or just as a trainee, it really just it opens up your world a lot more. It's I think you should be loyal to where you start. You always show your loyalty. Don't be one of those guys who just comes in, grabs some stuff, and dips out.
I agree.
And then acts like they never did anything for you.
Right.
Always rep your set. Who's got you there. But it's good to always get little training here and there because there's always you can learn something from a white belt. You know what I'm saying? You learn from any range because someone's going to do something that's specific to them, and you can always grab a little bit of something.
Sure.
So
I want to hone in on that a little bit more because I think you're a good ambassador of the sport actually. Because we've had some other guys from here that you've talked to the trainers at Highest Stand,
Mm-hmm.
and they've got to go down there for open mats and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If they're getting ready to get into the octagon for a competition, that team has helped our team quite a bit. And so you come here, and some other people from Highest Stand come, and so it really is a beautiful community, and that shows that we're not just here because we hate each other and we just want to punch people in the face, but like you do a lot of fighting in the octagon, and right afterwards you hug it out and you tell the guys like good job, and you become friends with these guys, right?
Absolutely.
Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, well, what it comes down to is there's no one else in the world that's just as much as like me as the guy sitting across the cage from me. I mean, we're both want the same goals, we're both going for the same thing. And yes, in that moment, I hate you for trying to stop me from what I'm trying to gain, but I know that you have just as much in it as I do. So when it's all said and done and the competition's over, I only look at you as it's almost like I'm looking at me. It's my brother, and that's where that comes from. And there's something, as long as there's no bad blood, nothing, shitty happened. There's just something about it that's like it forms a bond. Once you've been to war with somebody, you both come out, alive. It's like, all right, that was awesome.
That's awesome. Could you tell us real quick, and then we'll wrap it up here. What are some some of the virtues you've gained in your own personal life that you've carried outside of the gym just from training, like discipline or whatever it may be. Like, how has it helped you?
Discipline's the main one. You
Okay.
know, I've always had some sense of discipline, but then I've realized that the more that I actually like put focus into like sticking with the curriculum, actually doing my training discipline, I get the results. You know, discipline is a very big key in getting the results you want. You know, you can't half step and want bigger results. You know, it's transferred to so many things in my life where it's just like, you know, it's time to lock in and get things done. You know, that fight or flight just gets a lot more real, and you're I feel like my survival instincts overall has just gotten better because of the things I put myself through with fighting, and just getting discipline and resilience. Discipline, resilience, I say the big two things I've gained from this sport.
Sure. I also, I've done a few little business things with you, and one of the things I feel like you're really good at, I don't know if you notice it in yourself, is you're good at advocating for yourself, but gently, calmly, with confidence. And were you always like that, or do you think that's a product of training, or have you ever noticed that in yourself? Or
I appreciate it. I think maybe that comes just from working in the restaurant, you know, because
right.
you know, you gotta.
That's a different way of getting punched in the face.
You know,
metaphorically.
You gotta be good at, you know, talking to people. Otherwise, you're not gonna make good money. So I feel like I've definitely maybe built a little bit of my social skills from just the work I've gone to do.
Okay.
I'm constantly talking to people, so maybe there's just a little bit of that's come from there. I don't know, but
Okay.
I also know that there's a lot of value in, you know, if I'm a professional fighter, I need to be able to sell myself.
Sure.
So, you know, I think there's a lot of guys out there that lack in that. You know, it's, you know, I'm my own marketer at this point. So
There you go.
I have to be able to do it, you know, if I want to be successful.
There you go.
So.
Tyler, he's an awesome guy. He trains mainly at highest end. He comes here because he enjoys Pura Vida and the welcoming community we have here as well. And then, how can people follow you or learn more about you and watch your fights?
Yeah, if you just want to follow, you know, my fight story, I post everything on my Instagram, Captain_K MMA. That's pretty much just where I post all my fight stuff. A little bit on Facebook and not much there. So if you just want to follow me on Instagram, you can kind of follow my journey, see everything I've been getting up to. Fights coming up, stuff with my team. I post my teammates' fights. So if you just want to kind of follow the team, follow me, check out my page, Captain_K MMA on Instagram.
That's awesome. Thank you. And I'm Brian, one of the students here at Pura Vida. Thank you.